Think about the time, the amount of years that Jimmy Johnson has done this in. It's relatively short. When you think about how many championships he won 5 in a row, and it's been a short amount of time that he's had the success. So really, there's no question he's one of the best ever. He's proven it over and over and over.
But think about the year. This summer, self-admittedly, Jimmy said, I would have never thought this would have been the year. We could have tried to chase for 7. They didn't have the competitive edge they had in years past, but they've improved. They figure out a way to make the chase, figure out a way to advance, now making it the farthest they've ever made it into the chase in this format. And then wins at arguably one of his best tracks. It's hard to say it's his best track, but it's good as at Dover and other tracks, but wins at Martinsville to guarantee a shot at a championship in Miami in a few weeks.
One way, he thought this perhaps wasn't the year, because I didn't think it was either by watching him run. Matter of fact, I didn't have him picked to go out of the first round of the chase.
And we see Joey Gase, the first car on track, 23-year-old out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Rick, I'm a little torn. Jeff and I have had this discussion up here. 27:45 was fastest in practice. The track record's at 26:98. About a half a second. While that seems like a long way, overcast, the lights, you see them start to reflect off Joey Gase's car here. The lights have come on. It's cool. I don't think either of us know how much these teams are really going to pick up, Jeff.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know why they're waiting. I'm not really sure why they've decided to go to the end of pit road and wait and not make the run. I think if you have speed, it's been cloudy, been overcast. I don't think the track temp's going to come down a great deal between the first and second round. But I do think if you went ahead and went early, you would have your tires possibly the coolest they could be, and maybe that would be an advantage in round 2.
I agree, but the counter argument is, you mentioned the strategy of saving a little tire. Well, it's hard to do that if you don't know how fast you need to run. So as you see the cars lined up, you also have cars still sitting in their pit stalls, like the 22 of Logano, the 4 of Kevin Harvick, cars that we think perhaps have a chance to win the front row or the pole position. So maybe they want to see the lap times established, Jeff, so they have an idea of how much they can maybe leave in the bank.
Well, Joey Gase slowed down. He slowed down a lot. He, in practice earlier today, ran a 29.25 and went 29.78 when he went out for his qualifying run.
Well, let's see what Paul Menard does. Paul Menard was 27th in practice. He ran a 27.85. Obviously, he's a lot quicker than Joey Gase was able to run.
While we're watching Paul Menard, let's go to Marty.
Just checking with a couple of crew chiefs to answer the question of why all these teams pulled out to the end of pit road and now are sitting. And they say it's because they don't want to be stuck in line. Also, this line goes kind of in front of where the cars are, so you can easily get blocked into your stall as well. So really, you're more positioning yourself for when you do want to go out. And you'll see some of these cars also have left enough of a gap so they can pull out, like Greg Biffle did a moment ago. He's out on the track right now, Ray.
Greg Biffle on the track. As you mentioned, Paul Menard now has set the bar as far as what everyone is looking at. He went out in practice earlier, ran under 28 seconds, but in this lap, in this qualifying session, he's 28 flat.
So the one argument may be to these slower speeds, we had a tremendous amount of Xfinity Series practice between Cup practice and now, and while the temperatures have only dropped a little bit, you see the racetrack. Look at all the tire marks as you see Greg Biffle coast around there off the exit of turn 2. That's rubber that's been put down by those Xfinity cars. And Jeff, you know as well as anyone how grippy this racetrack is when it's green and fresh without a lot of time on it. Well, now we're looking at a track that has a tremendous amount of time on it and tons of laps.
Yeah, it does change the racetrack a great deal. I think one thing, too, these teams are thinking is that you almost have to view this as one shot. Because the chance that you're going to run faster your second time out is pretty low. Unless you made a mistake, unless you got out of the groove, unless your car was just horrible, you're not going to go out and run faster, I don't think, because of the tire wear. So teams really, I believe, have to think about this as a one-lap only opportunity.
My only other concern, though, Rick, is as we've documented, one of the fastest mile and a half we go to, so aerodynamics play a huge role. As we see Jamie McMurray right here coming to take the green flag, he doesn't want another car on this entire straightaway. Even though you wouldn't think 20, 30, 40 car lengths wouldn't make a difference, I think it perhaps could. So as he misses the bottom 1 and 2, they'll run up the racetrack, and you see the time going into the red. That was definitely not a good-looking turn 1. We'll see if he can get it back in turns 3 and 4.
He was 23rd in practice and a 28 flat.
And
maybe he's trying meeting.
I was going to say, it's hard to believe he would miss both ends of the racetrack.
Yeah, I think that was on purpose.
You think the bumps are any different one group though?
I think it's rough everywhere.
28-13 for Jamie McMurray. at his second quickest, just ahead of Greg Biffle, 28.25. Joey Gase, again, 29.78. Only 5 cars have been on the track, and it's about 5 minutes into this first session.
Starting to see a little bit of impatience as we see the 6 right here of Trevor Bayne. I wanted to call it the 6, but that bright yellow nose on this Advocare Ford, I didn't recognize it. I knew it was the 6, but I couldn't get myself to say it. It's a different look, normally a white car.
And in the green already, right at the start of this lap, but then entering one, right back into the red and going the wrong direction.
Did not look good at all. The car looked like it's sliding up the racetrack the whole corner.
And this lap isn't going to be great for Trevor Bayne, but he had a really good week. They announced Advocare is coming back for 3 years, and Trevor Bayne re-signed his contract for 3 years as well. So hoping a job security, and hopefully that'll give some stability to Roush Midway.
They can continue to work to gain ground on the rest of the teams. Trevor Bayne slotted 4th after that lap, 28.47. Riding along with Alex Bowman. And he's got his hands full, it looks like, as he comes out of turn 4. He's 4th quick now at 28.436.
And he slowed down about a half a second more when he ran in practice. So far, Trevor Bayne, Alex Bowman's probably lost the most amount of speed from what they were able to run in practice.
Man, Austin Dillon's car, it rotated into turn 1. I thought it was loose, but I think it cut the right amount. He got back into the gas. We saw some sparks off the left front splitter. He carried the momentum. Now, he lost some speed here, kind of 3 and 4.
See if he can maintain in the green, though. It looks like he will. And Austin Dillon is going to be fastest at 27.96. Everyone will be judging their speed off of Austin Dillon now until we have 24 that have been out on the track. Again, the top 24 will advance into the second round. Michael Annett on the left side. Announcement earlier this week. Michael Annett would race for Junior Motorsports in 2017.
We've heard a lot of news about the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series about next year, but really, in the Cup Series, we haven't heard much. Like the silly season doesn't seem like it started just yet. Or maybe it started, it just hadn't finished.
We do know that the 15 of Clint Boyer, he will race in the 14 next year, as Tony Stewart will be retiring. 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
He picked up a lot. He was, actually he did not pick up that much, but he didn't lose as much as some other people have lost.
28.24 for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's 4th. So now we see Chris Buescher in the 34. What a season it's been for the 34 team and Chris Buescher.
Danica Patrick, she's right there at Austin Dillon's speed. Had good speed in Martinsville. Didn't necessarily finish all that great, but had good speed in practice and in qualifying.
Danica Patrick is 3rd quickest at a 28.13.
And here's a car that consistently ran good laps in practice. While he ended up in the 8th position for most of that practice, he kept bouncing around the top 2 or 3. He's in the green, but barely in the green.
You know, a lot of people have missed the bottom. It's almost like they're expecting more grip in the racetrack and it has less, and maybe they're overdriving the entry just a little bit.
Yeah, we see the 42 is up the lane again at 3 and 4. Kevin Harvick as well. I just wonder, maybe they're trying to get out of the rubber that the Xfinity guys laid down as Larson goes quickest, Marty.
Hey guys, Harvick now the quickest car as he turns a pretty quick lap there at 27.855. They have the advantage of the #1 draw here in qualifying, so they went straight from their stall out onto the racetrack for that qualifying lap. And you guys talked about having to get it done in the precise amount of time. Crew chiefs think that the fall off will be 0.3 of a second when they go back out for that second run. So Steve, you want your driver to do it in 1 lap if you can, save as much tire as possible.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to manage, is to do it in 1 lap and save tire. I'm not sure that the 2 of those go together. Kevin Harvick had run a 45 in practice and only ran to 85 there. That's 0.4 of a second slower. So only really Kevin Harvick knows how hard he pushed it right there.
And can you save tires? I mean, that was, I think, the topic to start this off. Save a little tires so that you're better in the second round and the third round. The pole is determined.
Yeah, I really think you can. I think someone like Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson can run a little less than 100% in this first round. As we see the 2 with a big moment right there, and car got loose. Did a good job correcting, but definitely cost them some speed. I think that they can strategize a way to save tires in this round. The next round, without a doubt, they're going to have to be completely committed to try to advance.
Kozlowski came in at 5th currently, right ahead of Casey Mears. Casey Mears with a good run.
And coming up, having to divert a little bit there. Busch goes 4th quickest on that lap, 27.98, just under 10 minutes to go.
And we got to remind the fans at home, remember, round 1, you only need to be in the top 24. That's why we're talking about trying to save tires. We're on board here with Kenseth.
Wow. Well, that's a high workload. High workload normally means slow speed in qualifying.
Kenseth 6th quickest at a 28.062. We see Ryan Newman on the clock. He's in the red. Again, this is compared to Kevin Harvick right now, the fastest lap that has been turned. We'll start comparing these drivers to 24th now that 24 cars have been on the track. There's 14 of Tony Stewart. Eddie Gossage at Texas Motor Speedway has shown Tony Stewart a grand weekend. On the back of Big Hoss, the giant big screen TV on the backstretch. On the back of that is the number 14 in lights. They're giving out 30,000 bobblehead dolls of Tony Stewart to the first 30,000 to come on Sunday. There's now Denny Hamlin on the clock, and that was compared to 24th. Hamlin comfortably in the top 24, in 3rd with that lap.
Yeah, well, as we start to compare to 24th, though, it doesn't take long to realize. We have starting really with Trevor Bayne, Casey Kane, Alex Bowman. I don't see any way that these lap times are going to hold up all the way up to perhaps Bowyer and Biffle.
Carl Edwards goes 5th quickest with that lap, 27.97. So 28.1, maybe even 28.2 potentially could make it into the second round.
I think that really, I don't feel really good about the lap times until I get up to about Jamie McMurray and Danica Patrick. I'm not sure there's 8 cars that can move up through, and I'm not sure cars can come out and run faster on the next run. So we'll have to see, but I think that those 2 cars are the first really safe cars into the next round.
Chase Elliott is in the green. Matt DiBenedetto was in the green, but so back into the red. Landon Castle on the track now. Regan Smith in the green.
Great lap by Chase Elliott, 2nd quick. And Regan Smith is going to move up into the top 24.
He was 22nd quickest.
Still a lot of good cars to go. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson.
We didn't see a lot of speed out of Jimmy Johnson in that first practice, but as we heard from him just before he climbed into the car, he feels like they've got something that they can get out there on the track and make it into the top 24, potentially even into the top 12. David Reagan on the clock and starting off in the reds. About 2 100ths, and then a great turn 1. Put him into the green, and down the backstretch he goes back to the red.
Getting ready to see that line shift quickly. I believe we have Joey Logano on the racetrack. 70 and Martin Truex Jr. also joining the fray, and then the 48 is the real big question mark. Did they repair this 48 car? Was it only 1 set of tires, as Jimmy mentioned, or is the car still lacking the lap time it needs to advance?
Kyle Busch in the green, and a lot of sparks coming out from the back of the 18.
So this is the backup car for Kyle Busch. He wrecked really early in practice. It looks like this backup car, though, is that adjusted on well. This lap is going to easily get him through as he still fights the wheel there in the corner next to the turn 4.
All 3 looking to get into the top 24. Kyle Busch, top of the chart with that lap.
Until Logano ran.
And Logano goes and